Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another interesting session of Survive or Sink. Survive or Sink is a show where we talk about financial related problems. We've talked about so many interesting topics, and today we'll be talking on banking beyond borders. We want to know how the future of money is going global. I am Didia Harmony Ezine, your host for today. And we have a guest for today, Mr. Precious. Good to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, in recent times, banking is no longer restricted to geography, it's no longer restricted to location. Yeah. International banking has made it easier for businesses. You don't have to. It's beyond traditional banking systems where you have to wait for so long to get your money, where transactions are a bit difficult, and maybe you want to transfer money to someone abroad, you have to wait for days. The high charges and all of that. So today, we would want to know how international banking has been of help to us, to businesses, and how it's creating opportunities. So, Mr. Precious will be taking us on the questions. I'm going to be asking him some questions, and he's going to be answering to clarify us on some questions. Okay, so Mr. Precious, I want to ask a question. I
Okay.
know many people would be wondering, is there a difference between international banking and borderless finance? It sounds complex to a lot of people. So, is it the same thing? And can you just explain it to us in simple terms?
Okay. In simple terms, they're both same thing.
Okay.
Um, Borderless transaction or international transaction of banking, it just means moving money from one country to another. So it's same thing. It's just moving money from here to another place.
So there's no difference between the two
Not
terms.
not not difference for me. If you ask me. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think more people are beginning to look beyond traditional banking systems today?
Well, the traditional banking system are limited.
It has limitations.
Reason because the reason why you call it traditional, or one of the reasons why you call it traditional, because they serve you locally,
Okay.
right? And since they serve you locally, most of the local banks we have today don't operate internationally. So that's one limitation. Um, Although now we have more banks that are stepping up to see that they serve their customers better. So you have banks like UBA, if I'm permitted to mention names, right? So UBA have other branches or other banking system outside Nigeria,
Okay.
right? You have the likes of Providus, you have the likes of Wema, and all of those things. But there are some bank that outside Nigeria you can't use them,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So this is just one limitation already,
Of traditional banking
or yeah,
system.
of traditional banking. So one of the reasons why people are leaving that umbrella to step out there and work with other international banks is because it helps them move their money easier and
Easily,
better.
yeah. And it's not time consuming and all of that. They don't have to wait for so long.
It depends.
Oh, really?
It
Okay.
depends on how much you're moving. It depends where you're moving to, and it
To
depends the real where that money is passing. When I mean real, it depends on the channel. So
okay.
is it that you're sending fiat, crypto? If it's fiat, which currency, right? So if you're sending money from Ghana to Nigeria, it's considered international banking, but it's much easier because these are neighboring countries.
Yeah.
So they work with us better in terms of our compliance, government policies and all of
Yeah.
those things to understand us better, and we understand them better. But when you're moving money, currencies like USD down to Nigeria, then there will be a whole lot of process.
Process. Okay. So what are some of the biggest challenges freelancers, remote workers, and digital earners face when receiving international payments?
Okay,
Okay,
one of
one
those
one of those
difficulties
Yeah.
depend on the
difficulties
Yeah.
platform they are
depend
using
on
to
the
receive that
platform they are
money.
Yeah.
using to receive
Using.
that money.
There's some platform that will
There's
not
some
allow you
platform
to
that will
earn
not allow you to
as a
earn
Nigerian. as a Nigerian.
And that's why sometimes you hear things
And that's why
like,
sometimes you hear things like,
I'm a freelancer,
I'm using this application
to
as a
do
freelancer,
gigs
but then
as a freelancer, but
it's
then
required that I create
it's
an
required that I
account
create
from
an
the
account
US.
from the
Why is it
US.
so?
So
Why
you
is
see,
it so?
maybe their own policy, their own policy, their own restriction, and the
right?
likes of that.
Whether we like it or
Right?
not,
Whether we like it or not, there are some countries,
financial
some
institution,
financial
will not
institution we
partner
not
with or we not
partner
allow
with,
users
or we not allow
citizens from
users
those
or
places to use
citizens
the
from those
application.
places to
Whether we
use the
like-
application.
These
Whether we
people
like
have
it or
their
not,
own
these people
way
have their
of
own
way
making
of
this thing work for them,
making this thing work for them,
right? So
right?
so the platform they are using is
the platform they are using
issue.
is one
Yeah.
So
issue.
if as a
Yeah.
freelancer
if
you have
as a freelancer you have a platform
because I
like
believe
Upbox,
Upbox pay
because I believe
Nigerians.
Upbox pay
So
Nigerians.
if
Okay.
so you're
If
working there or you're using that
you're working
platform to
there or you're
earn,
using that platform to
another
earn,
problem is
another
having
problem is
a
having
domiciliary
a
account
domiciliary
that
account
you connect
that
your
you
Upbox account
connect
to.
your
Mm.
Upbox account to.
So
So,
if
So
you're working there,
if you're working
sometimes they
there,
don't really want to
sometimes
pay
they
that
don't
money to
really
another
want to
person's
pay that
account.
money to another person's account.
So as a freelancer, it's
So as a
necessary that you have
freelancer,
your
it's
own
necessary that you
international
have your
account.
own international account.
So money can be paid there. So money can
So
be paid there.
most of these freelancers
So
don't have
most of
that
these
account.
freelancers don't have that account.
You see them connecting. You see them connecting.
Where they're supposed to receive from,
where they're
to
supposed to
someone's
receive
account,
from,
to
to someone's
receive the money
account
for them,
to receive the
and
money for
withdraw it
them
in naira
and
pay them
withdraw
back
it in
in
naira and pay them back in naira.
right?
Right. So if you have a platform, that allows you to earn in different currency as a freelancer, then you have to look for a international account where you can connect this platform to and freely from there.
okay.
But still there are restrictions.
There's still restrictions.
There are still little restrictions. Yeah.
All right. Do you think traditional banks are keeping up with the way people earn and spend money today?
Now
Why?
I'm going to answer that question from experience.
Okay.
The traditional banking system will always be based on the people man no man, that kind of thing. So as should I say a freelancer,
Yeah.
you go to any of the commercial banks, for example, that can help you create a domiciliary account and allow you to receive money. And you do a transaction of $3,000, for example.
Okay.
You may not have any problem. You do transaction of $5,000, $10,000. You may start having problem. You start having issues like, where is this money coming from?
Where is it going to?
And before you see your money starts delaying, paying out or receiving your money, or withdrawing your money rather, takes time. It can take like 3 days, 4 days, 5
7
days,
working days.
and a whole lot. So it takes time. But if you have someone inside, for example, sometimes it's much easier when you have people inside.
Yeah.
And it also depends on what the person is doing. Although I don't blame the regulators because of what's going on in our society today,
Mhm.
right? But at the same time, there should be an easy way to check these things, right? As a freelancer, you should not be asking these guys to provide a whole lot. The person has provided a lot of accounts, the reason why he's receiving the money, where this money is coming from. But then, some banks just want to still stress you and make you go through some difficulties just to take out your money. And that's why majority of those people or freelancer are avoiding these platforms or the commercial banks.
Yeah.
To me, not all the commercial banks are keeping up. Yes, some of them are trying. They've come up with easier way of onboarding their customers, profiling their customers, performing anti-money laundering checks and stuff like that.
Okay.
So if those things are properly done, check, then I don't think people should be having issues.
Insurance. All right, thank you very much, sir. We want to also know, with the current state of international banking with fintechs in Nigeria, can you say international banking has gotten seamless, like how local transactions are, or we still have a lot to do to get there?
The world is evolving
Yeah.
in the financial space as well. And I think here in Nigeria, We have brilliant people doing a lot of fintechs, a lot of smart guys, if I may put it that way, that are actually trying their possible best to ensure that these problems are being solved. But then another problem we still have is the regulations. For example, when you want to get a license in the United States, it's straightforward. It's easier.
No
No
stress.
stress. You know, you have to provide your documentation. This is the fee to pay. You just go there and pay it and get all those things done. But here in Nigeria, it's complex. You don't even know the right channel to get these things. So there's a limitation for some of these fintechs, right? Or
Yeah.
mobile money operators. They have some limitations in terms of these policies. But like I said, the fintech space is evolving. Some countries now are adapting crypto as a legal currency. Nigeria as well. People are getting to know more about cryptocurrency, and fintech are also using those medium to ensure that money move in and out seamlessly.
Okay. Okay, we also want to know, like, why do many people still struggle to access or use their money globally, even after earning online?
Hmm. Why? Okay. One of the reasons why people are still having those difficulties is because most of them don't get to understand how this money move.
Okay.
Yeah, most of them don't get to understand how this money move. Now you go to a platform. I don't want to call any names, but we have so many fintechs out there. You go to a platform. You don't read their terms and policies. You don't read their conditions on international banking.
Okay.
You don't get to know about what they charge. It's not free. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not free.
sure.
Moving money from one country to another takes a whole lot. There are a lot of maintenance costs and all of those things that the service provider is actually keeping up to ensure that you as a user perform your transaction seamlessly.
Mm.
So one thing people need to understand is to study the platform that they want to use
Know
to
the
move
things
this
that are
money,
involved and
the
all.
things that are actually involved. So you don't put your money and get it stuck there. Let's come back to freelancers. As a freelancer, you want to receive money, and a company is taking your data or performing KYC, and they're asking questions like, "How much are you expecting in a month?" And as a freelancer, you're putting $50,000 to $200,000.
Okay.
It's not bad. There are people earning that up
Amount.
to the amount, right? No bad. But when you put such amounts, these are high risk amounts for some platforms, because not all platforms also have the capacity to move
Big
huge
money.
funds.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you're putting such amount of money, then you should be able to provide necessary documents to
Document.
prove the fact, right? We've gotten people that they get to fill up. I'm expecting $50,000 to $500,000 in a month as a freelancer,
Yeah.
and you get to ask them, "Do you have any contract letter or employment letter with where this money is
It's
coming
coming
from?"
from.
And there's no contract letter like that. So there's a problem. Some of them will try to forge. They will do all manner just to get their KYC approved. And when that money comes in, you're seeing that the person that is sending this money is different from what this guy said that this money is coming from. So that's a problem. And the platform has no choice either to refund that money
Oh.
or pay you back that money. You understand?
Yeah.
So in that case, you see some of them are, shouting, complaining that this thing is not working, it's not like how I expected it. But you didn't read, you didn't
They didn't
study,
bother to know what was involved
yes, what
and
is
all of that,
involved,
the do's and the
right?
don'ts and all.
We've gotten customers that complain that, okay, I'm receiving this money from a sibling in the United States. A sibling. How is this sibling related to you? You start hearing things like, um, she's my she's my younger
My
brother, this
grandfather's
and
mother.
this and that. And this younger brother or this sibling, in quotes, has a different name, a different history from you. Your name is Tochuku something, for example, Tochuku Wachuku, right? And this sibling
Zeribe.
is answering let's say Elizabeth Jones, a different foreign
There's
name.
not even connection.
There's no connection, right? There's no document to back up such things. When you ask for documentation, they can't provide, which is a red flag, right?
Yeah.
So outside that, even as a freelancer, you still need to understand, because if you're not able to provide that document, they are going to push you into those categories of persons that are using the platform for wrong
Illegal
reasons.
activity.
So even as a freelancer, one, you should be able to prepare your documentation. If you're expecting huge amount of money from international bodies, companies, and the likes of that, you should be able to have all your documentations ready. Document is very important. Somebody is paying you from wherever in the world. So if someone is paying you from his own account or from our account, the person should be able to provide a proper receipt.
Yeah.
Right? So most freelancers, when you ask them for these things, they can provide it because they have direct communication with where this money is coming from. And you can see that this money is coming from what the person said earlier on the money is coming from. I don't know if you understand.
At least the information tallies.
Yes, there's no discrepancy. The information are aligning, so it's easier to work with such persons.
Yeah, I do. I understand.
Yeah.
What mistakes do people make when trying to manage money across different currencies on platforms?
The mistake they make trying to manage currencies.
Yeah.
It's number one, trying to cheat the platform all in the name of you want to cash out. We've gotten people that we receive in USD, and they will leave that money in USD. When they leave that money in USD, they will try to swap the money to NGN, which is local currency. And let's say they swap to NGN and you pay them 1,400 naira. They will swap to 1,400 naira, right? And try to swap back from 1,400 naira to dollars, thinking the money will go back up. Like, does not make sense. The rate of converting USD to NGN and NGN to USD is not the same. It can't be the same. So those of them that are into the system newly will always try to play around the system to see how they can, and also for those persons that feel that if they receive a particular currency, they can actually, should I say, withdraw it to any other means. It's not really. Some people feel like when they send this money from United States down to Nigeria, the money literally leaves the United States and is now in CBN or is now in Nigeria. That's not how it works.
It passed different.
It's not even moving. Okay. The real scenario of this money is that money is in one place. It's not moving. Let's bring this back home. You have money in your Access Bank account. You want to send that money from Access Bank to UBA Bank, for example, and you send that money. What do you think is happening? Your money is not moving. What is just moving is just literally data that is moving, right? Okay. Currently here in Nigeria, NIBS control that entire process. All the money, literal cash, remains in one location, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you go to the ATM to withdraw money, are you not surprised that you go to any ATM of your choice, you put your ATM card in, let's say, Wema Bank ATM machine, but you're using a First Bank
card,
and it works. Right? Does it mean that Access Bank or Wema Bank is paying you money that does not belong to you? So the money is in one place, just data moving up and down. So same thing internationally. The money, that USD that you're thinking has landed in Nigeria, no, it's still in United States. It's just that the platform know how they manage these things and how they operate. So some persons who want to send USD and they want this money paid down to them in should I say crypto. Now that's another problem.
Okay.
If the platform you're using does not support such transaction, you should not send them dollars and expecting them to pay you in crypto.
It doesn't work
It doesn't work that way. So that's why understanding the platform will save you a whole lot from a lot of stress and complication. Understand how that platform works. Because some of them they want to send it in dollars and they want you to pay them maybe in naira. And the platform is saying, no, if you're sending this dollars, we are giving it back to you, still in USD, but maybe your local bank domiciliary account. So you go to the bank and sell it and get naira. Some of them you send in dollars and they pay you out in naira. Some of them you send in dollars and they pay you out in crypto. So a freelancer or users should understand the platform they are using.
Know everything
about the platform, read their terms and conditions, understand how the platform work before you start transacting huge amounts with that platform.
Thank you so much, Mr. Precious, for being here today and answering all the questions. So we've come to the end of today's session of Survive or Sing. I hope you learned a whole lot of things today. At least we got to understand that international banking is way better, is the way forward. There are platforms that makes it easier. It's just for you to know your way around it, how to navigate around it, so you don't have issues here. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you in our next session. Bye.